Hey everybody, welcome to Vacuum Wars. Dyson just launched two new cordless vacuums today, and I thought I would do a quick video running down all the specs and features and compare the numbers with older Dysons for context. There's a lot of new technology with these two vacuums and there's a lot to talk about, so links in the description and let's get started. I will have full test results and individual review videos for both of these vacuums out in the next couple weeks, and I'll link those videos in the description when they're ready. Let's start off with the Dyson V15 Detect. It's going to have the same LCD display that we saw introduced on the Dyson V11 torque drive, but it's going to be able to do quite a bit more. It's going to still give you the real-time battery life numbers, which change depending on the power setting and attachment that you're using, which I really liked with the V11. Also, like the V11, it will have an auto suction adjustment mode, which automatically adjusts the suction up or down to optimize both the cleaning ability and battery life. But for the V15, they added an acoustic dust sensor, which determines how much to adjust the suction based on how much dirt is being picked up, as opposed to just sensing if you're vacuuming carpets or hard floors like on the V11. This piezo dirt sensor is also fine-tuned enough to count the size and number of dust particles being vacuumed. And the LCD display also shows you real-time info on the particles you are picking up, much like they do with their air purifiers. This is a feature that is totally new in the vacuum world. I'm very excited to see the reintroduction of the fluffy or soft roller cleaner head on the V15 Detect, which I found in the past to be absolutely amazing for hard floor cleaning. The new tech here is that a green laser has been mounted at a very specific angle on the head to reveal dust particles on hard floors, much like sunlight at a certain angle does the same thing. This, along with the dust particle detection sensor I mentioned earlier and the display system, is presumably where the Detect in its name comes from. Dyson says the green color was specifically chosen for contrast. You can switch this laser on and off with a switch on the head. This is one area I'm sure to spend an extra amount of time testing in our upcoming review. Dyson has two new anti-tangle technologies on the V15, and it should be noted that Dyson rollers were in general better than average at resisting hair tangles anyway, but this will be their first cleaner head with an active hair removal technology. The high torque cleaner head, which can be used for carpets or hard floors, will have 56 polycarbonate teeth like a comb that will actively remove the hair from the roller to hopefully drastically reduce brush roll maintenance. Again, something I'm looking forward to testing in depth. The V15 also includes a new motorized handheld tool which has a different anti-hair wrap technology. In this case, it's done by a conical shaped brush bar and some modified bristles. It looks like a very innovative way to solve the hair wrap problem. What about power, you ask? Dyson says the V15 Detect will have 230 air watts of power, which is quite a bit more than the V11 torque drive and a little bit more than the latest version, the V11 outsize. To put this in context, of the 50 or so cordless vacuums I've personally tested, the V11 outsize had the most power, that is airflow measured at the head or at the wand, than any of the others. So if the V15 has 230 air watts, which is a combination of suction and airflow, there's a pretty good chance it will be one of, if not the most powerful cordless vacuum on the market. It looks like the V15 will come standard with the removable or clickable battery, which I'm really glad is becoming a thing because you can always buy extra batteries if you need to. As far as the battery life, it will have essentially the same as the V11 torque drive, which I'll show on the screen from the previous tests. I think these numbers are pretty much as good as it gets in terms of power output to runtime. Dyson is, as far as I'm concerned, the company to beat when it comes to vacuum battery technology. It's going to have the same filtration system that we saw on the V11 series, which is to say an extremely good filtration system. And finally, I should say that while it is very expensive, it seems to me that there has been a shift in the way that Dyson is pricing the V15. I feel like it's quite a bit cheaper than the V11 torque when it was released, at least when you consider all the extra technologies and attachments included in the V15 Detect. Moving on to the second cordless vacuum that Dyson launched today, the Dyson Omni-Glide. Dyson says, quote, "It's the first omnidirectional fluffy cleaner head that glides in all directions, forwards, backwards, and even sideways, and picks up large debris and fine dust." The first thing to know about the Omni-Glide is that it's pretty much exclusively for hard floors. The second thing to know is that it might potentially be really good for hard floors. Like I said earlier, I think these soft rollers are just the best. They can do stuff that regular vacuums can't, like pick up large debris and basically dust the floor. So I'm really excited to see what two of them spinning in opposite directions can do for hard floors. In the press release, Dyson spends a lot of time talking about the engineering of the swivel on the Omni, and and the bearings and such being optimized to move in every direction, and how it's in line so that it can lay down flat, and how all of that will cut down on your cleaning time. I can't really comment on that until I test it, but it looks like it just might do all that. Dyson says the Omni has 20 minutes of runtime. The battery actually is a clickable, removable battery as well, so if you needed more, you could presumably buy a backup. It has the same great filtration, a wall dock, and a couple cool sounding attachments. It's also selling for a reasonable price, comparatively speaking anyway, which is a trend I would love to see continue. Links in the description, and be sure to subscribe to Vacuum Wars before you go, because I will have a lot more content on these Dysons in the coming weeks. Thanks for watching.